Welcome back, everybody. We're back, I guess I should say. I fucked that up already. Whatever, we're gonna go with it. Matt Marks podcast, back at it. Took a hiatus, man. Well, fuck, we started recording this shit during the pandemic, which is like the worst fucking time to start a wrestling podcast.
Right.
But now things are picking up, and I don't know, I just felt like doing this again finally, and I think we both kind of agreed that it would kind of burn us out on wrestling doing it the way we did it last time. And
yeah, most definitely.
This time we'll take a much more relaxed, less professional, I guess, approach.
Yeah, we don't need to be a structured review show. We can just bullshit and kind of go from there.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't need to be reviewing fucking, like fucking Titus O'Neil versus Hornswoggle this week or whatever.
Yeah, right. Or Brock with his F5 on Austin Theory and then taking a selfie with him.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that was worthy, but
yeah, I mean that whole thing is Brock. I actually dig the Brock's new thing, and I know that a lot of people hate him because he's been like the fucking only dude Vince McMahon's pushed besides Roman Reigns over the last decade. But I mean, I really kind of dig the new Brock a little bit.
I mean, Brock's doing it by himself. He's showing that he can do it without Paul, and he's got character, like him as a person. Brock Lesnar, the man, not Brock Lesnar, the wrestler. Showing that he's got personality, and it's one of those things that like everybody's just always known him as a killer, and it's like it's kind of fun to see this playful Brock. We saw it a little bit, in the tail end of, or I guess it would have been Ruthless Aggression area in the early 2000s, but it's coming out a little bit more. He's an older man.
Well, and at the end of that, they kind of turned him into a bitch too, really. He was like a cheating motherfucker and stuff. Now he's like funny, but he's still just a fucking. He'll still fucking slaughter anybody that gets him.
Right.
So I kind of dig it. I dig the Heyman double cross.
Yeah, that kind of caught me off guard. That's for dang sure.
Well, it kind of caught me off guard that they did it so early. I figured it might be coming, but I thought maybe they would drag it out till Mania, which almost makes me think there might be a double cross coming, but probably not. So we talked about this through Messenger, and I was seeing stories about it for a minute too, but it's kind of faded away. Do you still think they're going to try to unify the title at Mania? Because I want to bounce. So. I want to bounce that Mafia. I think they should. I think that should be a priority. But if they don't, and these rumors with Cody are true, they need to bring Cody in and just give him a fucking shot at a belt right out the fucking gate. Like, Don't make him wait. He needs to come in fucking Monday.
Assert dominance or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, and they need to just give him maybe, and honestly, I think it'd probably be best to do it against Reigns. Because then, they could kind of maybe play off like, oh, you're a dynasty motherfucker? Let me tell you about dynasties.
Right.
And I think him beating, because I think if they're going to do a serious booking with Cody, they need to give him the belt at Mania, too. So I think giving him the belt over Reigns or over, and I guess Brock would have to lose probably because he won the Royal Rumble.
Right.
So maybe, I don't know, fucking Lashley does something extremely bad to piss him off even worse than... it probably won't book it that way, It'll probably end up Cody comes back as Stardust and fucking wrestles Austin Theory for a no title, no bullshit, just a regular... Right. Probably in the pre-show. The first of the 5 hours of the pre-show is probably where they'll put Cody.
Right. On day 67 of WrestleMania.
Yeah. Day 67. What is with them? What is it them doing fucking pay-per-views on Saturdays now? I get this one, I guess, because it's in where the fuck?
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, Saudi again. Now they're giving them legit pay-per-views. I used to like Elimination Chamber, and now I don't know. A lot of that shit that
WWE blood money.
Well, a lot of that shit was cool when we were a kid. They've just I don't know, it's just not cool anymore. You know,
No, I mean, I think it's oversaturated, and they need to,
they probably should think of new shit to do.
Yeah, exactly. And and it's tough because you're so limited in what you really can do in a wrestling ring to make it, unique and different. I mean, it's no different than any sport. Like the Pro Bowl in the NFL, dumbest shit on the planet. You know, the NBA All-Star game just turns into a dunk contest. Even like the dunk contest in the NBA, it's like there's only so many different dunks you can do until you get a bunch of gimmicky stuff, which is what WWE, has to try and do, is find some new gimmick that catches everybody's, attention, and then lights a not really lights a fire, but gets everybody, enthralled again with, oh, this is new and this is different.
Yeah.
But I want to go back to the Cody thing since you mentioned that, and I messaged you the other day and said, hey, I saw this theory on one of the forums and was like, should I talk to you about it now?
Yeah. What's this theory?
So this one was very, very interesting. So it was Cody comes back, like somehow Triple H is like is like returned, but then Cody interrupts and comes back and makes some reference to, oh, I see, I beat you on Wednesday nights and you ran and hightailed it to Tuesdays, and then you disappeared. Then they redid your show, blah 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 blah. I smashed your throne on our show. I beat you in the ratings, this and that, and then maybe they start something leading into Mania. Was one of the things in the forums that I was like, oh, that's actually, I think would be pretty entertaining booking, aside from going for a world title thing.
Yeah, I saw something about that too. And I also saw something about like a tag team, Brandy and Cody versus Stephanie and fucking Triple H.
So they basically shot down Brandy. WWE has zero interest in her.
Oh really?
So I don't think she'll come back at all. I think she's trying to pitch her that shot of Brandy, that YouTube cooking show. I think she's trying to do something with that and evolve in that aspect. I think
she's gonna realize how fucking
wrestling days are over.
Yeah, she's gonna realize just how unuseful she is out in the real world.
Oh yeah, big time. I mean, she's a very pretty girl, and she conducts herself great, here and there, but she's not a commodity by any means.
No,
there's nothing saying that we need Brandy Rhodes on our roster or whatever.
No, and I'm sure she probably asked for stupid money because I feel like that's just what she would do.
Right. Chief brand officer.
I'll be honest, it makes me kind of sad, to be honest with you, but it might be what makes WWE relevant again. And I have this feeling, and I'm got my fingers crossed, that WWE is going to make something happen this year that makes a legit run at being a legit competitor against like AEW, which I mean, I know they are, but they also know that they're going to lose eventually if they keep this shit up. People are so fucking over WWE right now.
But then it's pretty wild because again, I always go into those damn forums. Man, the E-drones are just like, WWE has never done anything wrong ever, and it's just. But and then they shit on AEW constantly, and then they're always calling out like, yeah, the cultists. That's what they call the AEW folk. They call them the cultists, or blah 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 blah. And it's like, whenever I scroll through these forums, all I see is 95% WWE guys hating on AEW, or WWE guys loving everything WWE does, and then a little bit of AEW love. But yeah, it's ridiculous how like just jaded and just like out of the the realm of reality some of these guys are sometimes. Like E-drones are nuts, man.
Play the devil's advocate. I see it from both ends, though.
Really, I guess maybe like I said, the forum I'm on, I never see it. Like I said, a very, very small percentage of AEW, loyalists, shitting on WWE. It's like I said, it's 95%, at least in the dirt sheets I look at, in the forums I look at.
Yeah, I guess I read more of the shit on Facebook than I do like actual actual websites and stuff. But
with Facebook, I feel like that's every Yahoo. But like the nerds like myself or yourself that dive into the dirt sheets, I feel like those guys are a little bit more credible than just your Facebook Yahoos.
Well, I read some of the dirt sheets. I just never read the fucking comments in them. You know.
Uh-huh.
Um,
I it's man, it's so like I keep telling myself I need to stop, but I can't not stop, and it makes me so frustrated too because I'm just like I get so angry reading that shit, but I'm like I can't. It's like being an addict. I just can't not look at it.
yeah. Well, I think that how they handle bringing Cody in will be a big indication of where they want to go, in my opinion.
Hmm.
If they
Hmm.
shit the bed with Cody, I might just completely give up on him altogether. Which
Oh, really?
I've told you a million times. Like, I don't want WWE to fail. Wrestling is so much better
No,
than
no,
theirs. And
of
that's what I
course.
grew up on, man. I love Vince McMahon. I got a lot of respect for him. I just think he's getting old. And
The product's stale, and
yeah,
and and
and
they
well, and
need to face facts and figure something else out.
I don't even know if it's stale, Tim. It's like so weird. It is so weird. Like they've got Austin Theory looking for, or like somebody stole Vince McMahon's golden egg or some shit. Like they
Yeah,
got the dumbest fucking. It's so weird. I don't even know if it's stale, but it's like we'll just try all this stupid shit and fucking see what
yeah.
happens. And then there's like 4 matches in a 3 hour show, and they're not pushing any
and
new
and
talent. And the new talent they
and
are
those
pushing,
matches are only like 6 minutes long. That
yeah.
includes entrances.
Yeah, and then the talent they're pushing is bullshit, and they cut half the roster that's good, and
Right, right.
but and one thing I was gonna say about the Triple H and Cody thing, I don't think it's gonna happen, and this is why. I don't think Triple H is cleared to wrestle.
No, I don't envision he is, but thinking that maybe April timeframe, might get a little bit closer, but I guess we don't really know the legit severity of how gnarly that was. It a true heart attack
Well,
or what it was?
I think it was close to it. Like I don't think it was a true heart attack, but I think they were like something's wrong, and when they got in there, they were like fuck, because I heard he's
Yeah.
done.
Okay.
I heard he's fucking done almost on everything I've read. I've heard he's done, and I hope not, man. And part of me is like wondering. So, dude, a lot has happened, man, in just the last couple months. Because like,
Right.
how fucking pissed off is he at Vince right now for how fucking NXT looks?
I mean, it's a completely different
I
show
mean,
now,
I would
obviously.
think he would have to be fucking pissed. Like, I know that he's got a pretty good business sense on things, but like,
Right.
he's got to be fucking pissed, man. Like, he took every fucking bit of NXT and made it just something amazing in a product that could stand out on his own. And then just because he lost in the ratings, then he got fucking pissed. And it might have been money too, because I mean, look at it this way: you got guys like Adam Cole on there, you got guys like Keith Lee, Samoa Joe. Finn Balor, these guys aren't making a developmental.
Malachi, yeah, right.
Well, they're not making like a developmental fucking wage.
No, they're making probably mid card to upper mid card, main
Money
roster money.
for sure. And NXT as a TV show probably doesn't bring in the kind of money that Raw does, so it might not be financially fucking sound for them to do that. And maybe Vince was like, "We want a fundamental show. Like I didn't want a whole other fucking
A third brand,
yeah."
a legit third brand. Yeah.
Mhm. So, but at the same time, it was going so well and it was so good, and people loved it so much that I don't. I feel like it's an ego thing to me, really. And it's a shame. And also, I've been reading a lot of things that like it's like for sure that Stephanie and Triple H will not be taking the company over now. And if that's the case, I wonder if that's Vince's choice or if it's theirs. You know, personally, and fuck, maybe Triple H. And I don't see this. I think wrestling's in that guy's fucking blood. But maybe he's like, fuck it. I had a heart attack. I want to enjoy the rest of my life and not be working 7 days a week, not be stressed out. I want to hang out with my fucking kids, bang my hot ass fucking old lady, not have to count calories all the time and work out fucking 24 hours a day. Like, I want to just fucking chill.
Yeah. No, I totally can see
But
that.
I think he's a lot like Vince. Like, Vince, they're gonna bury him in the middle of the fucking ring.
Right. Right.
He's gonna die taking a bump. or something,
Yeah, tear both quads again.
Yeah, I mean, um, and I don't know. There might be something going on with Vince, or there's like a little dementia. He doesn't look real good.
Well, I mean, what what's so the excuse me, the other con. So obviously Tony over there in AEW, but who is Nick Khan? I don't know who the fuck he is, but
I
Vince
heard,
basically gave everything, and that guy more or less runs everything.
and I
Just
feel like,
Vince has final say, but that dude runs everything now.
that guy just like came in out of nowhere.
Yeah, but where he's not a wrestling mind. Who the
I'm
fuck
gonna
is he?
Google him
Yeah,
because
that's the one thing I've never done. I've never actually Googled him to
because
figure
I
out who the
know
hell
that
this guy actually
there's a
is.
story about where he came from, and I heard it on
Mm-hmm.
Cornette's podcast. I think is where I heard who is
Mm-hmm.
Nick Khan. Here we go. Let's meet WWE's new president. Oh, with the growing influence of cons in the wrestling world, it's hard to remember who is who. Nick Khan, the WWE president and chief revenue officer, is a name that has been thrown around for the past year. Dude, that's like, how does this guy get? There's got to be a story. Vince McMahon's not stupid, even if he is fucking got dementia.
Well,
With
I mean,
Khan, huh?
yeah, no, go ahead.
So maybe he's got invested money into it and he's gonna buy it or something. But let me see if
But
I can find something interesting.
yeah, I was gonna say like, but I mean, I want to know just where the fuck he came from. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's my thing. Is like, did he come from some other sports franchise
No,
or
he
something like that,
started in
or just some
2000.
rando?
He started in 2012 as a fucking creative artist agency, or or no wait. Okay, so he owned a talent agency in
Okay,
2012.
okay.
Um,
It still doesn't scream wrestling
yeah, I
man,
guess,
does it?
dude, I don't know. And this website's bullshit, of course. Oh, here we go. There it is. Um, he's a TV guy, I think, is what I'm gathering.
So he knows. So other than being, maybe he's a wrestling fan, he has no wrestling credentials leading up to coming to WWE.
Not that I'm reading.
Man, that's always tough to invest in somebody that's doesn't know the product in and out. But I don't know how long he's actually been with WWE, so maybe he's been spending time,
Well, he
learning the
started
ins
his
and
own
outs.
company in 2012, so not fucking long enough to hand the keys over to him, in my opinion.
But but if he started an agent, an ad or a talent agency, so he knows how to work with people. So I get that, but does he know how to write? Does he
I
know
don't
how
know.
to
From
operate a
what I see,
wrestling
is a lot of
company?
people. I think a lot of the talent back there really don't care for him.
Oh,
That's what
really?
I'm. Yeah, and dude, the shit with Shane is weird too, man. What the fuck? Like everything that I've been heard or read has been like Shane is like was the prick at the Rumble, but like I don't want to fucking believe it. Like
Right,
I
right.
feel like there has to be more to it because like anybody, if you've ever listened to interviews like I have, like I've listened to so many shoots of wrestlers just talk about whatever, and when you get the old wrestler guys in there that have wrestled for WWE, the question almost always comes up like who is the nicest McMahon, and everybody always says Shane.
Right, right.
Everybody always says Shane. And it's weird to me that he's got such an ego about this shit. But uh, I don't know, man. I would. There's just so much weird shit going on, man. It's a weird time for wrestling.
It's a weird but also like very intriguing time because there is so much that's happening, and the world is slowly opening back up.
Yeah,
Like
and it's
like I like I,
never.
I like I messaged you earlier that they're going to bring Double or Nothing back to Vegas, so maybe we might get a West Coast AEW run because
Yeah,
what was the closest we got? Salt Lake City and Vegas were the closest we got
yeah.
until all the
Well, they
shit
need
went
to go
down.
to Seattle. Seattle's a big wrestling town, and I think they understand that because I mean Darby came out of Defy, and then there's a few
And
other guys.
oh, I was going to say that. Go ahead, you finish what you're saying, then I'll piggyback real
But
real
there's
quick.
they're always bringing guys from AEW from into Defy, always. So I know they know Defy is there. Like I know that when the
Well,
Bucks went there, they had a good time. I know when Mox went there, everybody's went there has had a good time. It's a good little
right.
crowd.
Eddie loves it there too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So they got to go to Seattle. They'll
Yeah.
fucking sell it out.
So right now, you know that Christopher Daniels is currently the Defy world champ or whatever, right?
Oh shit! I didn't even know that. I
Yeah.
can't believe I
Yeah.
haven't followed it.
CD's the champ over there. So recently, they offered Nick Wayne, the son of Buddy Wayne, a contract, but he's still a minor. He's 16, but when he's 18, he's got like a contract with AEW already. So Darby came out, with CD being the head of talent relations, basically probably pulling the trigger, but Darby being the hometown kid, they had him out and offered him the contract. So they did that, and then after that, a certain somebody from NXT that's also a Seattle guy showed up, and he challenged Nick Wayne to a future match. Was Shane Strickland, Swerve's house.
Oh, okay.
So he showed up the same night Darby showed up, and was all like, "All right, well now that you got this, this big boy contract, let's do something, next month or whatever."
There's so much talent, dude. It's like Portland wrestling days again, man. Because I mean, I think about the Midwest. Like you look at the flyers from like wrestling promotions in the Midwest. You look at them from anywhere, dude. They're not matching Pacific Northwest. And Defy is running shit, and Prestige is holding its fucking own for a
No,
weird little organization that started in Hermiston, Oregon.
right. I was gonna say even the number 3 company DOA is bringing in a couple guys. Like I was gonna message you this earlier that when Vincent is doing a little West Coast run, he's actually going to be at the DOA Dead or Alive Wrestling, which is also based out of Portland as well. Yeah. So he's going to take on a Drexel, him and
Drexel,
Vincent and Drexel.
Yeah, that's right. I saw that actually. I saw that.
In
Yeah.
a street fight or whatever. Yeah.
So, yeah, dude. Once my knee gets buckled up and good to go, like we're gonna have to start hitting some of these and trying to like make something more out of this podcast. I think
Right.
we gotta like get creative and try to figure out how to weasel in some interviews, like become like go into the fucking promotions and shit like all the time.
I mean, there's a smaller company that's out of the Elks Lodge in Portland. They do shows every Sunday night. That I'm pretty sure they're local guys, but I'm pretty sure I could get see if I could talk to them because I interact with them on their podcast every now and again, and just see like, hey, do you guys got any future folks coming into town? Blah 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 blah. If so, is there any way you can maybe hook them up with us for 90 minutes or
yeah,
hell even 30 minutes we'd take.
for
if
sure.
they because they, I mean, this is all pre all the shit coming out, but they had Joey Ryan come through there. They've had TJP come through there. They've had
Really?
a handful of guys on the lower tier, but come through that that are notable names. Granted, Joey kind of screwed himself, but he was a name, and his gimmick got him over at the time until all the shit came out.
Yeah, man. I mean,
So
and I'd be willing to go to like any of that shit, really. Just like I'm ready to get out there and start doing shit, but I got to get this knee shit taken care of and get some shit out of the way first. But I'm pretty close to having my shit together
Right.
where I can do more shit. So probably midsummer, I would say I'll probably be good to go.
Right.
So, but yeah, I would like to start thinking about doing that, and then
Right.
I definitely want to get to a fucking Defy show. I've never been to one, and they look
Okay.
amazing.
Yeah. I think Melanie and I have been to 2 or 3. And they
Well,
yeah, Stumptown when Morrison was in town, and then I think we went up to Seattle twice.
There's so much good shit happening right after my knee gets done too. Like they're bringing Prestige back to Hermiston with Malachi, and he's gonna be like fucking a mile away from me, and it's like a week after my surgery.
When is your surgery?
It's March 29th.
Oh, I thought Malachi was out in Hermiston like next weekend for some reason because he's got the Portland Prestige show this weekend. But I thought the Hermiston show was next weekend, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, and then they're gonna do a double nighter, man. That would have been a cool time to get you to come up here because you could just stay with me and we could do because they're doing another show in Richland, Washington, which is like a fucking half hour from here.
Richland is Tri-Cities, right?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
I couldn't
half
remember if it's
hour,
one of the Tri Cities.
45 minutes from here. So we could have done a
Right.
double nights, man. And
Yeah, right,
but
right.
I'm not probably even gonna be walking hardly at that fucking point in time.
No, I mean, if you're only a couple days removed, I would imagine you're
Well,
not moving
yeah,
around all that well.
I think. Let me look it up. It might be 2 weeks after my surgery, but I doubt I'm gonna want to go fucking brave the odds of that. You know.
No, that's not smart. And then God forbid you slip on some liquid on the ground or some dumb shit like that. No,
Yeah, some
that shit
drunk
ain't worth.
asshole
That ain't,
fucking
yeah,
falls
bumps
into
into you.
me.
Yeah, that ain't worth it. Or we sit in the front row and you take a fucking guy diving in the crowd and shit.
No shit. But yeah, no, Defy, man, or Prestige is doing great, man.
Yeah,
Davey Richards versus Malachi Black in Portland in a couple
yeah,
days. That's gonna be a good fucking match. Davey Richards brings it, man. He's getting up there though. He's one
yeah.
of those
I
guys
think
that
it's
sadly has never really.
early 40s.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that sadly, with as talented as he is, he's never been on a big platform. You know.
The Impact run with the Wolves. He had an ROH run with the Wolves. I don't know if he ever went over to Japan with Eddie or not. And then did the Wolves ever make it into WWE at any point?
No, I don't think
I
so.
mean, if they did, they were ever like development, enhancement talent or whatever.
Well, yeah,
They didn't come out
probably.
as
I
they
mean,
didn't come out as
yeah,
the American Wolves. They came out as like Joe Dickhead and Wrinkle Foreskin or whatever.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, let's see, where are we? Yeah, so well, fuck. It looks like the Hermiston one's not on here anymore. That sucks, Dick. Hopefully they didn't cancel it. But the Richland one's still on. I guess yeah, it's a couple weeks. I get my ACL replaced on the 29th of March, and then the one in Richland is on April 16th. So
Okay.
it's kind of close. I mean, if I feel good and there's extra tickets, I might just fucking do it. You know.
Yeah, unless your doctor tells you that your recovery is going to be longer than what you think it's going to be.
Well, and the thing is like everybody fucking nobody can tell me how long an ACL takes to repair because everybody's fucking different, man. I've
Yeah,
heard.
yeah. If you were a top tier athlete, it'd be a different scenario than you are a musician.
Well, yeah, I
It's
mean,
much.
thankfully I've been working out like a fucking dog for like
Yeah, so I bet
you know,
shedding the LBs
but
probably helps a lot
well,
too.
that and just making myself more flexible, making myself more resilient. You know,
Right, right,
that's a
right.
lot of it. You know, I mean, I'm still a fat piece of shit, but like I'm stronger, I guess. You know, and
Yeah,
that helps a bunch, and it helps with your balance. It helps with just being resilient in general. So, but
right,
I'm blessed that I started doing that, and I got to jump on it before all this happened because it would have been a
right.
bitch to try to lose that weight. It would have been a bitch to try to fucking do anything, you know, with this ACL like that. And my legs were already stronger and shit, so it's easier to walk around on. But I'm coming up to where I need it fucking done though.
No, I hear you.
They put it.
I hear you.
It's been almost a goddamn year, man. So
Right,
they put it off for a long fucking time.
right. What was I going to say? Oh. So I know we haven't touched a whole heck of a lot on WWE except for that little beginning stuff, but I'm really big on the big 7-footer, Omos.
A lot of
What
people
I
are,
mean,
man.
they just had him beat the shit out of fucking Hurt Locker in a handicap match. Be like, do they want to start maybe trying to push this guy into a main event guy
I
anytime
think
soon?
I think that might be their
Just
plan.
7 foot 400 pound dude. It's like, how do you not make that guy attempt to be the man?
Well, from what I understand, yeah, that's kind of their plan. I don't know for sure. I mean, like I don't have like an inside source. I'm not fucking Dave Meltzer,
Right.
but from what I've been hearing on podcasts and reading, there's legit people that say like that he might be like the next Andre,
Really?
and
Okay.
and they say that he's really good. He's really good in the ring. People really like him in the back.
Uh huh.
And they say that what we're seeing now is just like a tip of the iceberg of what he can do and like what his
Right.
personality's like. And once he gets out there and he starts doing more of it, he'll be a bit more like of a force to be reckoned with.
Right.
Um, I'm trying to think a guy. I think Austin Theory is going to be somebody they should put their faith in. He's good. You know who I cannot fucking stand is fucking Riddle, man. Like the bit was funny for a minute, but now it's just fucking old, man. I couldn't even
Yeah, it is.
watch
It
it.
is a little old. It
I
is a
can't even
little old.
fucking watch him anymore, man. Like I tried to the other night, and I'm just like, and a guy I'm surprised they haven't put the belt on for a while that probably deserves it because he's one of their biggest drawing guys and one of their most believable guys is Orton. You know?
Yeah, well, I mean, they had him. He was. I think he was supposed to be. I mean, he was more or less in the mix. I think he had a match with Seth or something like that on Monday, or here
Yeah, I think he's
recently,
in
and
the
they were
chamber.
kind of, and I think they might be trying to split up RK Bro and give Randy another run before he hangs it up, kind of thing.
Yeah, because from what I understand, he wants to hang it up and not too long from now. Um, Probably after this contract's up. He just re-signed, I think, for
He's got
3 years.
another 3 years. Yeah, that's usual. WWE contract is a 3 year.
Mhm. Yeah, unless they want you out of it, or unless
Yeah,
they want out of
exactly,
it, but then it's
exactly.
whatever the fuck they want it.
Right,
Um,
right. Yeah, I feel bad for a lot of those kids that the lighting's not very good there. Feel bad for a lot of there was some kids that signed contracts and were like released within like 7 months of their 3 year deal, and they're just like ah, poor guy.
yeah, I wonder how that works with pay, though. I wonder if
like a compensation thing if they
yeah,
owe him
yeah,
money still. Yeah,
they
I have
get some
no
kind of
idea.
pay. They have to, get some kind of
Like
payout.
some severance deal or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, no idea on the intricacies of that.
yeah. Well, they'd cut a bunch. I mean, I don't know if they need to cut their fucking writing team big time.
Yeah. I mean, they need to dumb that down to
And I think
you
we've
know
talked about this, and this is I was kind of going to try to get to this point earlier, but I think that might be what they're doing, and why it might be kind of shitty and kind of weird right now is they're just trying to figure out what they need to do, and they've cut everything they can. And part of that might be because Vince wants to sell soon, so he's trying to save money. Who knows? Um, I don't have a lot of faith. I mean, I'm kind of disappointed in their Disney contract. Like, I don't want to see WWE go to Disney. Um,
well, I mean, when those other places operate or whatever, the Disney or when it's like, oh, they hooked up with Disney Indonesia or whatever, it's like that's not, it's like some way down the road subsidiary of the Disney parent company that it's like, I think that could have just been individually Disney Indonesia,
yeah, it might
because they
be.
don't because they didn't offer HBO Max or they didn't offer Hulu in the area, so they could at least get WWE TV on at least on HB or on Disney Plus or whatever in Indonesia.
Yeah. Um, and so like, I don't think he should sell it, man. Like, I want to see that fucking. I want to see it
Stay in the
keep
family.
going. Yeah, man. Like, I don't know why he'd want to. It's his great grandpa started that fucking. Or his grandpa started that
Yeah,
fucking.
his grandpa.
And then his dad took over, and he took over from his dad, and like, yeah, dude, like it should be Triple H and Stephanie that takes that over.
Yeah, or I mean, maybe Shane came back to be like, "Are
Well,
you
they'd take
really?"
care of Shano if that was the
Well,
case.
but I was gonna say maybe he ruffled some feathers and was like, "Really, you're gonna give it to this other con guy? I'm
Maybe.
gonna come in here and I'm McMahon. I'm gonna push my weight around and blah 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 blah." And Vince was like, "We're not having it, bro. You got to go."
Yeah. Uh, I guess I mean it sounds like from what everybody was saying, it was just like his ego, like he wanted to be a bigger part of the Rumble, and then he
Right,
botched. Then he botched his fucking exit. Uh,
right.
I didn't watch it, but yeah, he totally. I guess he botched his exit.
I didn't see it either. I didn't never even saw any of that.
Yeah.
And
Um. Yeah, I guess like Brock tried to clothesline him over the ropes, and he got fucking all fucked up.
oh
With the
yeah,
ropes.
yeah. Okay, now that you said that, now I do remember. Yeah, he got all kind of twisted up in the ropes and it looked ugly, and he had to hit him a second time over the ropes, and but that happens like to like 6 people in the Rumble every fucking year. So it's like you're just pointing out Shane. It's like, well, yeah, it happened to, and Shane hasn't wrestled in fucking, however many months, but it also happened to, I can't think of Joe Ram, Montez Ford. Let's say it happened to him, although it wouldn't happen to him because that kid's super athletic. But but it happens to 2 or 3, 4, 5 other people the Rumble every fucking year too.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean,
I think that's
what
just
happens
them
when you
being,
shove that many guys in the ring at once.
yeah, exactly. And he doesn't hit the angle quite right, and the guy wasn't 100% set up because he just got done getting kicked in the chest, but now it's his time to get eliminated, and it's like, oh fuck.
Well, so I know that we'll bounce back. I mean, I don't know if I really want to talk too much more about WWE. I can't really think of anything I want to, but I do want to touch briefly on
They're just gearing up for Elimination Chamber and whatever precedes that. That's pretty much all it is.
Yeah, yeah. But I do want to briefly talk about NXT, man. And I have watched a few.
I've
I've
watched
watched
zero
really.
NXT.
You should
Yeah.
watch an episode because it's not as bad as people are making it out to be. It's just not the NXT they remember.
Well,
There's some good guys.
I don't. But who's there? Like, I don't know who any of these folks are. Which folks can say that about AEW or whatever. They don't know who all these indie guys are. But I'm like, but I don't know who any of these developmental guys are.
Well,
like,
they got this developmental
Carson
guy.
Waller or whatever the hell.
Yeah, that guy can talk, man. That guy's a talker.
But he's an
And he looks
Aussie,
good.
right?
Huh?
He's an Aussie. He's
I think
Australian.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can talk and he looks good, man.
But I'm like, it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't even know who this guy is. It's like, if I don't know who you are, it's hard to get invested.
Essentially, this is what I really want to talk about is like, so Braun Breaker's the big name in there. I'm sure you know that.
Yeah, Laura Nice's kid. Yeah.
What the fuck are they doing? Like they basically acknowledge the fact that he's fucking Rick Steiner's kid.
Right.
And oh, you thought he was Laurinaitis' kid? No, he's Rick Steiner's kid.
No, I said, yeah, I said Laurinaitis, but I meant Steiner.
Okay,
that's who I was thinking.
No, yeah, but no, he's Rick fucking Steiner's kid, and they basically acknowledged that he's a fucking Steiner. Everybody knows he's a fucking Steiner. He talks like a Steiner, dresses like a Steiner, acts like a Steiner, wrestles like a fucking Steiner. Why the fuck aren't they milking the fact that he's a fucking Steiner? Like,
I know, right? Like that and that those are the things that WWE does that I don't get, and that's what makes me think, like, do they just think like everybody has, like, dirt sheets don't exist and like the internet doesn't exist and we can't figure out this stuff in like 4 seconds? Who the hell these people are?
Just make the motherfucker a Steiner. They were calling him the big bad booty nephew for a long time. Somebody literally referred to him as that in a fucking promo. Like, and they don't but they got him called Braun fucking Breaker. Like,
yeah.
And it's not like there was just a Braun. There was just a Braun on the main roster. First off, like,
yeah, right.
And he's good. He's good at what he does, man. But
I've heard he's done. I mean, I watched that one.
Well, he's got it in his blood. He's been
War
training
Games
a
or
while.
whatever.
Yeah, he's got it in his blood. And he's been at it for a while, so he's not like
right
on the block.
Yeah, he's not uber green by any means.
No, he's been training with Scott and Rick for a while. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
Part of me thinks they're just doing it to spite Scott. It is kind of ironic that he ends up in NXT after Triple H leaves. And Triple H and Scott Steiner had that huge beef for a long time, and
right.
Oh, and before, yeah, okay. I mean, I guess so. That's all I really want to say about NXT right now. I mean, Roddy's still there.
Yeah, but hasn't he had some main event and dark matches and shit like that? Like, they're gonna put him on the main roster and they're gonna split up that Diamond Mine group or whatever.
I don't know. Fuck. I hope so because it's kind of shitty.
Yeah.
Oh, and then they named fucking Walter. There's another thing. It's like they've had Walter wrestle on there. Like, what are you repackaging people for, you idiots? And then you name him after a World War II fucking Nazi fucking like soldier.
Yeah, U-boat captain or whatever. Yeah.
What the fuck are you fucking idiots?
Like, there's. I mean, first off, he's Austrian, so it's like try and find some Austrian hero, and maybe go after taking some likeness of that dude's name instead of like yeah, we're just gonna name this guy some really German sounding name without doing a whole hell of a lot of research, and then being like, oh, oh yeah, this guy was actually like a Nazi U-boat captain. I was like, good job, guys, way to do your research. And that's more things like that just makes me like, who the fuck is running this place? What a bunch
Yeah,
of fucking boneheads.
that's stupid. It's just stupid. Like, there was no need to change Walter's name or anything about it.
No, Walter was just fine. Like, and then again, more e drones were like, well, his name used to be like, little tin hat man, when he was like 3 days into the indies, 14 years ago. And it's like, cool, yeah, guess what, everybody had a stupid gimmick, their eighth day in fucking the wrestling business.
No,
Like,
but
and
he's
when he
been
get when he,
billed
when
as
he
a
stepped, yeah,
monster. He's been billed as a
yeah,
monster and a badass for like what the last 4 or 5 years under
yeah,
Walter.
right,
Fucking idiots.
right, right.
One thing though, hey, like, I mean, I think if Cody's going to WWE, I say they better put Goldust in this year, man. I'm
In
sure.
in the Hall of Fame,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't think they will because he's currently active over there.
Is he?
I don't. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't wrestle all that often, but he's active in the company and stuff like that. Like it was different than when Billy Gunn got in with DX and it was just barely starting. But it's like no, now they're like they've already kicked the tail of one of the shows and they had to switch nights, and they're grabbing all this talent that they don't want. That I don't think they would do it at this point in time.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. But I don't know. I bet Khan wouldn't have a problem with it, but WWE
Oh, I
wouldn't.
don't. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, Tony would have a whole hell of a lot of problem at
Tony
all.
probably has to be his guest or something, man.
Yeah,
Like he's a
right.
wrestling fan,
Can
He's a
I go?
fan. Yeah,
Right.
but I mean, fuck, they put the Godfather in last year. Jesus Christ, Goldust should have been
Yeah,
in probably 5 years
but
ago.
but Godfather, he hasn't been actively wrestling or had any affiliation in other
Yeah, I
companies.
guess you're
So
right. They do wait until they're not active anymore, huh?
majority of the time, I think. Uh, yeah, shit, I can't think of anybody that's technically retired, or I mean, that's in the Hall of Fame. That's I guess Bully Ray was when they were inducted. He was still technically active with Ring of Honor, but I don't think Vince felt threatened by Ring of Honor, so I don't think that's why he had a problem being like, yeah, sure.
Well, they almost had
They're
like a working relationship with them for a minute, where they were like using footage of Punk and Daniel Bryan.
right.
So yeah, that wasn't like a big deal. But yeah, this is getting pretty dirty, um,
Right.
pretty messy. Um, so speaking of which, do you think? So did you see that tweet from the Bucks directed towards Cody? Do you think they were like throwing shade at him or?
I don't know. It's hard to truly figure out what they meant by it. Because some people are saying, oh, they meant this, and some people are saying, oh, they meant that. Maybe it could be some inside thing. I don't really know, but yeah, I don't know if it was them throwing shade or if it's because everybody was saying they're throwing shade and they were button heads, that maybe they were just doing it just to be funny. Like, hey, we're just gonna run with what these marks are saying anyways, and we're just gonna be like, yeah, I can't remember what specifically was said, but they're basically talking shit of some sort.
Yeah, thank God for us is what it said.
Yeah, I thought there was one more.
Was there?
I thought there was, because I think the "Thank God There Was Us" or "There's Us" or whatever was today, but I thought there was another one, but maybe I could be wrong.
Oh. So let me ask you this too. That's another thing we should probably cover. Well, a couple things too, because Ring of Honor is about to come back, but totally different than what they were. And I saw one of the matches announced today were the Briscoes versus
Yeah, they have
Mystery Team.
two matchups so far announced. Yeah, John Gresham and Bandito for the world to unify the world title, and then the Briscoes versus two
Do you think
mystery
it's gonna
folks.
be? Do you think it's gonna
It's
be?
FTR. It has to be FTR.
I'm
I think it
happy
has to.
because I think it would be better. That match would be better at ROH than it would be in
Oh, I think
AEW.
I think so too. I totally agree.
I think.
I
I
totally
mean, I'm
agree.
still kind of the point where FTR is pretty kind of unutilized and kind of underappreciated there. I think and it kind of bums me out. But I've also felt the same way about LAX, and I think they're about to get a good push. So I
Yeah,
think
I think breaking away from Jericho is going to benefit them.
I never understood that anyway. So how do you see that plan coming about? Because I read an article saying that Tony Khan does not want to split up the inner circle whatsoever, and Jericho kind of wants to. But I'm wondering, there might be. Well, we were talking about how we heard like about the fuck is the name of those monsters tag team that was in NXT came over to fucking.
Oh, Akam and Razor.
Yeah, I heard they were supposed to debut a while ago, and I'm wondering if
Oh,
maybe he'll replace him with another tag team. Essentially, is what I'm wondering. And uh, that's kind of what I'm wondering myself.
right. Yeah,
Um,
I've yet to see anything about Akam and Razor. I know when you said that to me the other day when we were talking, I was like, oh, really? Because I was, because again, I was messing around with the WWE video game and they popped up and I was like, oh, where the fuck have these guys been?
well, yeah, and I heard too. Well, at first I heard they were done, and then I heard they weren't. So
Uh-huh.
it's
Uh-huh.
just weird. There's a few people that have just vanished, and who kind of
Bo,
bums
Curtis
me out?
Axel, yeah.
Bo Dallas, and we
Yeah.
haven't even talked about fucking Bray.
Yeah.
Jesus.
We got time. Maybe not
Um,
tonight, but we got time in the future to touch on him.
um, fuck. What was I gonna say?
Uh
Oh,
I don't remember.
shit. Oh, so another thing, going back to Cody for a second, is I just read an article about an hour before we got here that part of the reason that he quit was because Tony didn't offer him the same money that he's given Daniel Bryan and Punk. And if you want me to be completely honest, I kind of think that's bullshit.
I 100% agree.
Um,
I think he may not be the draw that those guys were, but he aside there's Jericho and uh, uh Kenny and Mox, but I mean he more or less you know put this company on the map, and I think it's kind of a slap in the face, and like I understand why Cody would bail if that is 100% true or not.
yeah, which that also makes me think because Tony Khan's not stupid and he's not a bad man. So that makes me think that maybe Cody's being a pain in the ass in the back and they want to get rid of him. Maybe his ego's gotten big and people are kind of tired of him because I was hearing a bit of scuttlebutt about that for a minute.
Right.
Um, and maybe Tony just ain't got it, man. Maybe he's going fucking broke. He spent a lot of
Well,
money.
yeah, he spent a lot of money. See, so on top of what you're saying, I came across something where they're being a little bit more strict about their budget. I think he had a an open budget, to pretty much do whatever he wanted, and I think at this point he's uh being like, okay, well, I got to treat this like you know a, a professional sports team, doing his stuff with the Jaguars or doing his stuff with Fulham FC over there in Europe. I think he's got to be like, okay, we popped our cherry and we did our thing for 2 years. Now I got to bring it back and then figure out what the hell AEW 100% is, instead of buying all the assets, getting all the hot names, and now let's try and figure out what this company is.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I can understand that because I'm sure, they say that every company loses money for like 2, 3 years, and I'm sure that
Right.
AEW is no exception to that. Especially I'm sure he dropped some money on Punk and dropped some money on DB
Right.
or BD
Oh,
now.
yeah, BD. So I was looking it up because I think we were talking about that, and it's still a pretty significant number. But I was looking at like what's the difference? This is Forbes 2020. Like what's Vince net worth, and then what's Tony Khan's net worth, and then I went just for my own curiosity what Shad Khan's worth is, and surprisingly Vince and Tony are a lot closer than I thought they were. So I'm in my head it was like, well, maybe he set a budget for what he's going to do with these guys because he probably has the means to buy whoever he wants, but he wants to keep the numbers in a certain parameters or whatever.
Hmm.
Is my thought. But of course everybody's gonna be talking shit like, oh, he threw all this money at it, and he's losing money, blah 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 blah. But it's like, no, I think he's operating like a businessman, and not so much like a wrestling promoter.
Mm-hmm.
If that
Yeah,
makes any sense.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it does for sure. But AEW is missing out on some money with not running things how WWE does. You know.
But I see, and that's just that exact verbiage I struggle with, because it's not, you say it quite often, and other folks that I see say it quite often, that they're like, do it like WWE does, do it like WWE does. And it's like, well, maybe they don't want to be like WWE, and they want to figure out a different way to run it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm not saying they should, but I think they're missing out on a bit of money not doing some live shows, not doing more pay-per-views, which I kind of like that they don't do pay-per-views, but I think they could do a bit more. And I really don't like how many.
Because they have four pay-per-views.
Yeah, they should do like
Essentially,
six. Just six, because it's been a long time between November and March. Like they should have done one in
right,
January.
right,
They
right.
should have something like a couple more things. I think.
Because yeah, what is it? It's March for Revolution, May for Double or Nothing. And then what are the other? Then Full Gear is in November, and then All Out is is Labor Day weekend, so that's August or whatever.
Well,
And
so
so
that's a
it's
whole summer without a pay-per-view.
more. Yeah, I mean, you got the very end of summer.
Yeah, and then for some reason they always do
You
like
go from
Bash at the Beach at like on in like October or some weird time.
yeah,
Like
yeah. Then they got those special events where they'll
which are
bash
cool.
the beach,
I love those.
fight for the fall in, and this and that. Yeah,
I loved those about WCW, but they need to make them
right.
more of a special event. Like they should put them on Saturdays, like they used to for like Clash of the Champions or like Halloween Havoc was one you
But
could watch. I think.
Saturdays on regular TV, or
Yeah, yeah, just on
Saturday
yeah,
pay-per-views.
yeah. No. They should do like if they're gonna do those regular special popper things, they should make them special. Like not just do
Right.
like AEW Dynamite Bash at the Beach. Like
Right.
do like
On our Wednesday night Dynamite,
yeah,
yeah.
and then makes you wonder. Maybe make the belt change there a couple times, like they would have back in the day for a WCW
Right.
show. Make it like a 2-3 hour event where like everybody gets featured, and they have some
Right.
serious like plot changes, but maybe not something that's like huge. It's not going to be as good as a pay-per-view, but it's going to be better than Dynamite. Maybe
Yeah.
somebody debuts. There's like usually always like on this old Great American Bash is the one that they played on cable, I think.
Right.
WCW it was, and there was like always somebody that debuted at Great American Bash. Like that was like somebody would come out of the crowd, or like be like, oh, you fucking, or somebody come back from injury, like
Right. Something significant. That'd be
yeah, something.
somebody coming back, or somebody debuting, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's what they should do. If they're not gonna do that, do the couple more pay-per-views. They should do that, and like because it's like, all right, we get it, but
Right.
we know it's just Dynamite pretty much with a different background.
Yeah, exactly. It's Dynamite with what's the couple of ones they've had where the pool in the background is like, yeah, so we got a Dynamite with a pool and a couple of girls in bikinis. Got it.
So who do you think's going to get cut? You think they're going to? I'm sure they're going to cut Marco Stunt, especially now that they gave Danhausen all the monies.
I know, right? Yeah, I mean, I'd have to sit and look at the roster and be like, who's an actual contracted, like legitimate contracted talent, and who's, just there on a short, 15 appearances, or that sort of thing. Because I know Tony has a lot of appearance deals for folks. So I don't know, like Cardona when he was there, he was on like a three appearance deal or whatever, and who's to say that a bunch of these other folks aren't on some variation of those deals, even though they're like, oh, so and so's all elite. It's like, well, okay, but did Jay Lethal only sign a 6-month deal so he could
I almost hope
do his
so.
thing?
They're not doing shit.
I know they're really not, and that's a bummer. I think because they got so much at the same time, they just don't know what the fuck to do with people.
Yeah, man, I was afraid of this.
Even with Dark and Dark Evolution, they just don't have enough TV time for everybody.
I was afraid of this. Well, that's one thing they could do is they could rethink how they do Rampage. Try to get another
I think
hour.
it needs to be a 2 hour show. It has
And
to
it
be a
needs
two
to
hour
be
show.
not taped directly after the other one. So
No,
something.
it needs,
It's
and
not.
I think they need to figure out their financial stuff so they can start a touring schedule or whatever, and do that second show as a live show, because I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched the last 3 weeks of Rampage because the internet's got all the fucking answers already, and
Yeah.
I seen it somewhere on the internet, so I'm like,
Yeah,
I
I
don't need to
never
watch fucking
watch
Rampage.
Rampage, man, unless there's CM Punk's does a promo, and then I watch that on Facebook. I mean,
Right, right, right.
they could run a tour schedule from Friday to like Wednesday. I guess that still only gives you like 2 days off. Never mind, that would suck.
Yeah,
But
I think
I
I
mean,
think
well, I guess
I think
they should do weekend shows, maybe just fly them in or close to where they're going to be on Wednesday, because a lot of those guys are young and they don't care. And then the guys that aren't young have enough money to just fly in someplace for a couple days.
right, right.
And they've got such a big roster, you could leave somebody out for a minute and put somebody else on.
Yeah, no, I
They
hear you.
should do live shows on Friday and Saturdays. I think they're missing out, but I think that what a lot of the wrestlers love is do they get to go do independent gigs and make a little money outside their contract.
Right, right.
But if Tony wants to make some more money, he's going to have to start figuring probably. I mean, I don't know. I shouldn't say because I don't have an idea of what his bank account looks like or what he's bringing in, really. But,
Right,
you
right.
know, you got to think there's three main components: merch, advertising.
And then when there's TV,
Well,
and
if
then
there's
and then
four,
whatever, and then
I
whatever you
guess.
get at the door. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess there's four because there's merch, advertising, and live shows and pay-per-views.
Right, right,
That's where their big money's coming from. So,
right,
and
right.
it doesn't appear to me that he's got too many sponsors.
No, I don't think so. Yeah,
I think it's mainly TNT that's in TBS that's really
that's
backing.
pushing. Yeah, that's pushing it. Yeah.
Yeah. And that would suck if they get tired of wrestling again. They're up Shit's Creek. But I don't know.
Right,
They'd
right,
probably find an easy place. I mean, they could go on Vice at least or something. I'm sure.
right, right.
I'm sure they wouldn't have as tough of a time as. I mean, fuck Impact's still on TV, and it's been
Yeah,
threatened to get taken off a million times. So,
right.
um, dude, one thing I want to ask your opinion on this, and could just be me, but fucking Adam, I feel like Adam Cole just looks like shit since he went to AEW. Like,
Did you see the one fan sign when Adam and Britt were both out there? It was Adam Cole has a dad bod.
yeah, dude, and he's like so small looking. He's like smaller than Orange Cassidy. Like, what happened? Like, he like signs with AEW, and he's like instantly like, well, they don't care what I look like, so I'm just gonna fucking stop giving a fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know
So
exactly what
far,
it
I've been
is, but
super disappointed with Adam Cole and how they're using him and what he looks like. And dude, and I hate to say this because Cornette says it all the fucking time, and I don't want anybody listening to think I'm just like repeating what Cornette says. But dude, I'm just so fucking over the Young Bucks, and anything they touch just turns to fucking garbage anymore, in my opinion. Like, I really have not liked shit that the Young Bucks have done, and probably since. Well, I mean, the match in the cage with Lucha Bros was fucking good. That was a good.
right. That's the last good thing they've done.
But the build up to it was garbage. The only thing that was good was the match.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's literally the last good thing they've done. Everything else has just been like they're this heel smug, character they got. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, they're
Like,
fucking absolutely
I love the
ruining.
Bucks. Yeah, I love the Bucks. Bull Club for life. That sort of thing. But this current whatever elite version of the Bucks is boring.
Yeah,
And they are trying to be regarded as one of the best tag teams of all time. Which is a stretch, but they might be this generation's tag team of
well,
a
they're
span
up
of
there
time.
for sure, man.
But it's just been very like boring. And that's at least what I want to call it. I don't really know what else to call it other than boring.
And stupid. Yeah, I think it's
right?
not just boring, but super stupid.
Yeah, like just whatever they're doing is not working. This, using constantly, belittling Cutler and making him their bitch. Like that's got his haha moments, but the dressing up in the goofy outfits, it's like, is this what they're envisioning being smug rich assholes is supposed to be? Because it's just kind of douchey.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
there's
no,
nothing really intriguing about it.
yeah. I wonder what's up with Kenny, man.
He had multiple injuries that he'd been wrestling with that he's recovering. I think he had a surgery or two as well to recover from everything that, and that's why, obviously to make, to pass it on to Hangman, pass the title on to Hangman. But I think it was, or I know it was, to recover from
Yeah, I
injury.
heard he's got some back shit going on. Hopefully he's back
Yeah.
soon, though, man. Because you know, I really like Don Callis and Kenny together. You know,
Oh yeah, no, they were great on TV there for a while.
yeah, they got
I
kind
can
of.
only yeah, I can only imagine Don Callis, Kenny, and CM Punk. That shit would be, and Brian, or with Brian. Fuck, that would be entertaining as shit.
So, how do you think Mox and Brian Danielson is gonna pan out?
So I saw a tweet from Danielson this morning talking about how good a job Lee Moriarty did, or maybe it was last night after the show, about how Lee Moriarty like brought it to him, and blah 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 blah. And Lee Moriarty doesn't have much for a gimmick, but as a wrestler, I mean, he's going to be a Daniel Bryan type of talent in the future, where he's a very very talented wrestler. But Danielson made some comment about, so did Lee Moriarty prove himself enough to become a part of the Danielson dojo? So maybe they'll try and work something out, and it's a young lion thing, because Mox had the Japanese young lion that was Shooter. That's what he kept calling him, Shota Yumina, or I can't remember, Japanese young lion that I think he's now on the New Japan main roster, I believe. But it could be something like where they reunite those two, because I don't know if you watched the New Japan stuff when Mox was over there and doing the G1 tag or World Tag League with him. Oh man, their stuff was so entertaining together. Just and it was all the Japanese fans were like, "What the hell is going on?" But it was just
Yeah,
it was just a very very entertaining gaijin and Japanese interaction as a tag team that I think it could get over on American television if they do start this dojo of sorts.
yeah.
I would like to see it, and then it ends at some point with Danielson and Mox battling out for who's, like, Mox is like, I don't want anything to do with this anymore, and Daniel's like, no, you need to stay here, and they battle it out over that for whatever reason,
Well, no,
just
like they gotta
spitballing
they're
stuff.
gonna have to fight first, which is cool. You know,
You
but
think you think they'll have to go
I
at it
hope they
first?
go that route because first off, Mox has gotten pretty stale. I don't give a fuck. The rehab stay isn't gonna refresh his staleness. I don't think. First off, like I really fucking hate it that he was like about to turn heel. Then all of a sudden he's like, "Well, I'm going to rehab," and then he comes back a face. I'm like you
But
weren't gone that long. Like that's another thing. It's like all these holes in AEW's booking. Like I get like
yeah,
and you
there,
know
there's a lot of there's a lot of scatterbrain booking. That's for dang sure.
yeah they need I think I don't know I think Mox and Brian Danielson doing this would be great and I'd almost want to see him bring Punk in too. I know they wouldn't because Punk's a huge cash cow right now, but
Right,
but they could do like the whole just have this attitude about him because CM Punk's got to turn heel eventually. Like it.
but are the fans gonna let him turn heel?
I don't know. They never have, but it never stopped him. He needs
Right,
to. Eventually, I just hope he cuts the real John Cena babyface kind of shit. Like, cause I'm kind of over it. And well, everything he's done's been good, but
right,
he's gonna run out of it soon. He needs a. This shit with MJF's been great, and I guess that's been kind of his first real relevant feud. So it'll be
right,
interesting to
right.
see where he goes after MJF.
Yeah, and then they're doing the dog collar match. I don't know if you did you
Yeah, I
watch you
saw.
watched AW? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I watched most of it, so enough of it. But um, that's another thing too, man. It's like I I almost hope Cody comes into WWE as a fucking heel. I wanted to see him as a heel so bad in AEW that I don't get why he wouldn't just fucking be a goddamn heel. Like your dad was a heel at points. You're a heel. Like, dude, he's
Dustin's been a heel, yeah.
yeah,
And
he's a Rhodes man, and how he handled the Stardust thing was just a proof of how good he is. So I know he could have been a great heel.
right.
And that would have been enough, I think, to really make him shake his character up, make him relevant, and then it could have put him back in the championship thing where like, well, fuck you, if he's
Hmm.
a heel, he can go back on his word, instead of being a baby
Right.
face, like I'm never gonna fucking fight for the championship. Like once he becomes a heel, he's like, nah, fuck you, I don't give a fuck about anything you guys say.
Right.
And I run this place, so I'll
There
sign
was
my own contract. Like I don't care that I've
right,
lost 10 matches this year. I'm going up the rankings. I don't give a fuck. I'm signing in, I'm fighting, and then just have him cheat. Have Dustin get involved too, or Arn.
right.
And poor Arn, what are they going to do with Arn now, man? You
Yeah, I
know?
mean, now he's got he's got Brock Anderson and Lee Johnson and Dustin
Yeah.
and Arn. That's the Nightmare family now.
Yeah. And so what? So I actually missed most of the Hangman Lance Archer match, unfortunately. So, what the fuck happened? Did he leave Jake, you think?
No, Jake was there. Jake hit the DDT, and I know that pissed him off or whatever. He's like, I can do it by myself. And but beyond that, I mean, we don't really know what is going to happen. Pray tell.
I thought Archer hit Jake or something after he DDT'd.
I'm trying to remember. That was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, maybe he did. No, I think he did. I think he did. I think it was like you're a talking piece for me, but I don't need you sort of thing. I don't need you fighting my fights for me.
So I wonder if he comes back with somebody. I mean, there's still some guys on the shelf that are probably pretty affordable, pretty relevant. That could come make. I mean, he could probably do some good for some of them.
Right.
I'd like to see him and Bray do something. And if Bray and Tony are still talking, that'd be huge.
Yeah.
I don't know if at this point, I don't know, man. I really hope Bray pops up though. I'm kind of worried, especially if Tony let Cody go. Because if they're not talking already, once they do start talking, Bray's gonna want some fucking money,
Yeah.
and probably up there with what Cody was getting. And at the end of the day, I mean, I think Cody Rhodes is worth just as much as Bray.
Oh, I think so as well.
I think. I mean, yeah, personally, I think he's worth it just as much as. And I heard that there was some attitude issues with Bray in the back before he left.
Uh,
You
uh,
know, just like not wanting to cut weight, not wanting to do this, not wanting to do that. But I mean, I find it hard to believe. Like, honestly, of course, he probably had an attitude problem. They took his gimmick that he came up with out of his head that was selling shit, fucking doing great shit, and they gave it to fucking Alexa Bliss.
and then they took her off TV.
Yeah, now they're doing this weird psychologist thing with it. Have you seen that?
So it's like supposed to be like a Harley Quinn from DC, where she's a psychologist, but then she ends up turning into a wackadoodle later. Is that kind of the
No,
vibe it's
no, no.
given?
So like, no, no. So she's seeing a psychologist to try to get rid of the fiend. But
Okay.
now the
The
psychologist, like for a minute, like for every week, they were trying to get her away from the fiend, and she was like, "Oh, I'm feeling good now." But
right.
now the psychologist is trying to be a heel. So now the psychologist is like trying to get her to turn back. He like brought Lily back for her, so it's like weird.
Uh, I got
But
got the 5 and 7 year older coming out here, so they
that's
might
all
they
right,
might
man.
jump in here shortly.
My cat almost fucking climbed up me just a second ago. So um,
I need to help Emmy put her overalls back on.
Because I had to wait forever.
Like, turn around, turn around. Thank you.
It's cool out here.
Yeah. All right, head back inside.
No, not the
Go, weirdo.
But
So,
yeah, I
I was gonna say, what else? What else? Sammy and Darby, that was pretty entertaining. They're just two giant spot monkeys, but they do it well enough that it's not they're just trying to hit dumb shit all the time.
yeah, and then they managed to get Andrade a relevant place. I don't really like Andrade and Matt Hardy.
Yeah, I think
That's another
the
guy I'm
AHFO
over.
or whatever the hell it's called.
I'm
Yeah,
over Matt Hardy right now, man. Like, they take him off TV. I'm over the Hardy Boys in general. I think they just need to be done, but I'm sure they're gonna have another run, probably in AEW together.
yeah. I think because they sell like the Hardy Boys sell, so I think they'll give them a run to finish out their careers. In
Yeah,
AEW.
yeah, um, yeah. I feel like Andrade is kind of like playing.
Playing Matt. Yeah, I
Well, no, just playing
totally do
dumb.
that.
Like he's
Oh,
playing
okay,
dumb.
okay.
Like he's making
Calling
his accent.
calling Darby little kid and this and that.
Yeah, I do feel like they could do more with Andrade too. He needs a mouthpiece.
Well, so he's
Some
got that Jose, but that Jose guy isn't really a talking mouthpiece.
no,
He's
like
just kind
what
of
is it's the
his
guy?
little
Where did he even
lackey.
come from? Where did that dude even
Yeah,
come from?
I don't think he had any. Maybe he might have been somebody that Andrade knew from Mexico or something. I don't even know.
Well, so let me ask you this, man. So now that Cody's left, do you think any of the other original elite guys will leave too? I mean, because
No.
I don't feel like the Bucks are too happy. You know,
Well, I mean, when Tony pulled all creative control from the EVPs, is I think when everybody kind of was like, oh, okay, maybe I got to still figure out how to keep my spot or whatever. And Cody probably
thank
saw the
God he
writing on the
did.
wall, asked for more money and this and that, and then threw up the deuces and is like, all right, well I'm out then. But I don't see the Bucks and I don't see Kenny leaving anytime soon.
I don't think WWE would take the Bucks. I
I
think
don't
they
think they
would
would
take.
either.
I don't. I think they would take Kenny in a
I think I
heartbeat.
think they yeah I think they would too, but I don't think they would take the Bucks. I mean, the Bucks aren't the same Bucks that they were prior
No,
to AEW. Like
they're really.
as a
Yeah,
whole,
they don't look
they're
good.
not the same guys that I remember from Ring of Honor and New Japan shows.
No, they're
They're a
Ring of
much
Honor
much
feuds
different
with the
team.
Ring of Honor feuds with the Briscoes and shit, man. And the New Japan stuff that was
Yeah,
some.
and the New Japan stuff with like they kept talking about all the stuff with the Roppongi Vice. Like those were some killer fucking matches, but the match that they had the other day was just kind of like meh. All right, it didn't have the same pizzazz that it had in the past.
Yeah, they're just not really hungry for it. I don't feel like anymore.
Right.
Um, yeah, it's just I don't know. They're just so that's just getting old. Um,
Right.
so who do you see besides the obvious as like a future big time contender in AEW? Like, we know Keith Lee's there, but he's also like I didn't realize he was as old as he is till you told
Yeah,
me.
he's 30, 36, 37, yeah, something
Yeah,
like
he's
that.
like our age. I thought he was a young
Right.
cat, man.
No,
So I'm talking
AEW
like
has
younger dudes, besides Hook, everybody's talking about Hook. I don't get.
outside of the four pillars, the Sammy, the Jungle Boy, the Darby, and the MJF. Ricky, I would love to see something happen with Ricky. I'd love to see them push 10. I think 10. Oh, you see 10 beat the shit out. I mean, granted, it was just security guards, but you see him like they just had him kind of have a monster moment. He just beat the shit out of a bunch of guys. Wardlow's also been WWE's contacted his ass, and he's getting over. He's getting over big time with the crowd.
I forgot to mention that he's getting over,
Yeah,
fucking
that's
over.
that symphony of power bombs fucking thing. It's like
The day
roll him up and roll him up, roll him up.
when he turns on MJF, which will probably be at Full Gear,
At Revolution, yeah,
Revolution, yeah, which will probably be at Revolution. It's going to be big.
yeah. I'm gonna go let the dog in real
The
quick.
the pop for that is going to be huge, man.
Oh yeah,
He's getting over by the week, man. But yeah, I think Wardlow's one too. I got him on my list. Everybody's talking about Hobbs too, man. Hobbs has got it, I think.
Yeah, just powerhouse. Just, I mean, him like Ricky. They just don't get on the normal TV all that often.
Well,
Although,
Team Taz in general is probably the best faction on. I really think Team Taz is
they
the
have the
best faction.
best mouthpiece, in Taz. That's for dang sure.
I can't think of one I like more, and they never put him on fucking TV or put him in irrelevant. But you see Matt Hardy every goddamn week.
Yeah,
You
right,
know
right.
that
Well, I mean,
fucking faction is bullshit.
Hobbs has got Dante on Friday for another contender for who's getting in the ladder match at Revolution. So, which is like, if they have Hobbs win, they have Keith Lee win, and then did somebody else win? Like, they're gonna have, oh yeah, and Wardlow win. They're gonna have three, three of their big boys, in the match. So
That's a ladder match, isn't it?
yeah, it's a ladder match. It's just, I'm pretty sure it's a 6-man ladder match. So it's gonna be yeah. See,
Somebody's probably getting injured, man. Somebody's
yeah,
probably getting
right.
injured with those fuckers.
That's a big boys tossing each other out. It's not like, toss around Kofi Kingston or
Yeah.
AJ Styles. It's a beef getting thrown around.
Um.
Oh yeah. And by the way, I already know that Powerhouse Hobbs ends up beating Dante Martin because I already saw the results
Oh
of
yeah,
Rampage.
that's another thing about Rampage that sucks. You know what happens after Dynamite's
Right.
done. Um. Trying to think. I'd really kind of like to see Sonny Kiss stay. I don't think that he or whatever, and I don't say that.
Yeah, he goes. No, he goes by whatever pronouns you want to call him. He's publicly came out. You call him he, you call him she, you call him whatever.
Okay, that's
But anyways,
cool.
go ahead,
I
go
like
ahead.
that. I like that
Yeah.
actually. That's cool.
I mean, he changes in the ladies' rock,
But I really
because
feel
the ladies consider him, feminine, but then he wrestles in the men's division, so the men call him dude or whatever, or guy, he, whatever you want to call him. But
yeah, I feel like he's got he's good. I wish they'd let him talk and let him have some more storylines. I was really interested into seeing what him and Janela would do, and then they kind of just brushed that shit off to the side and then put it on Dark.
put on Dark, and I watched that Dark match. It was a pretty good match, and then this
I bet.
Kayla Rossi got in the mix. This new uh, athletic bodybuilder, kind of like Jade Cargill. She's in the mix and running around with Joey. And I mean, besides being a looker, like, she's super athletic, but like very, very limited wrestling skills. She's just kind of one of those. I can do a standing backflip and jump on do a moon stomp on somebody while they got a chair on their back or whatever.
Okay, so let me ask you this. We got about 10 minutes left before you want to get off here, and I think that's good. I think we'll wrap it up. We're gonna wrap up a pretty good show. I think.
Yeah.
With that it's not as long as our old ones. We got energy left in us still. We're enjoying the conversation. We're not looking too much, but I do want to ask you this, and I think this will be something good to ask you because I don't know if you've thought about it or not, and I just recently started thinking about it. Tony Khan's gonna have. It's looking like Tony's trying to cut some fat.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So,
No, I totally.
Who do
see that
you
happening.
see him cutting that maybe you wouldn't think he'd cut? I mean, he let Cody go.
He let Cody go. Brian Cage is still under contract. I think they let his contract run out. Kip Sabian, they let his contract run out, I think. Beyond that, do you let I don't know who in the upper echelon, but do you let like your Luthers and your Serpenticos go? Do you let Griff Garrison? No, I don't think you let Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman go because they're the future.
No.
Maybe
Brian Pillman's one that we should have mentioned in the future, I think. For sure.
Although,
I don't like that tag team.
32 though. I mean, he started later on in life, but
Yeah.
the Varsity Blondes is kind of meh. I think that was trying to piggyback too much on his dad's stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you can play. I mean, his gimmick in MLW was doing the same thing, but it was better.
Right.
He's definitely more of a loose cannon, which is probably where they're going to go eventually because it's pretty predictable. He's probably going to turn on his partner.
Griff. Yeah, right.
Who I think I wouldn't be surprised to see him cut is
I was gonna say Butcher and the Blade. As
Really?
much as I don't want to see, as much as I don't want to see him go, like where Andy Williams, his band broke up recently. So it's like, so he's not doing music stuff, but it's like he was there for a week and then been gone for the last couple of weeks. And we've seen Blade, but we haven't seen any of the Butcher. So I'm like, what the heck's going on? They're not young men either. I mean, Blade is 41 and Andy Williams Butcher, he's like 45. So they're not young men anymore.
You're probably right. Another one I'm thinking is, and you might disagree with me, is fucking Jericho's lackey. It came from WWE.
Hager. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he brings.
Yeah, I don't see him.
Okay, I'm being told to be quiet. I talk too loud. But yeah, he's. I don't know what he brings to the table anymore. If they split up the inner circle, he really serves no purpose other than being the muscle of a group. Yeah, and that could be because he's getting geared up for a Bellator fight.
Who fucking cares? Like,
but yeah.
That's more of a reason to cut him loose, in my opinion. Is he gearing up for a Bellator fight? I haven't heard anything.
I haven't looked up, to be honest.
Yeah, so I mean, it was relevant and cool at first, but now he doesn't do shit except come out and blow fucking Jericho for 10 minutes out of the week,
Right.
So he's one I would definitely see going. Obviously, I kind of want to see him hold on to some guys like Janela and Sonny, though. And I have no problem with them cutting fucking, Marco Stunt,
Yeah, no, at all, yeah.
I definitely, think Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, they're definitely got a future there. I'm trying to think of what else I was gonna say.
Other fat that needs to be trimmed. Was that in correlation?
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, I wonder what kind of role Danhausen is gonna play.
If he how long he's gonna stay affiliated with Best Friends, or if he's gonna start something up with the Ass Boys, because that's what I want to see. Start the Ass Boys feud.
He's so fucking funny, dude, and I think Tony's a genius in this aspect, and the old guys that I listen to on the podcast, they like him, but they don't get him. They're like, oh great, now we're gonna have to look at this guy. This is why Tony's smart. And this is why he's smarter than those guys, and he has something to offer to the new generation of wrestling that guys like Cornette, guys like the old bookers wouldn't think of.
Right.
That dude's YouTube is fucking probably just as insane as the Elites.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
That's where he's gonna get his use out of fucking Danhausen, is from content on YouTube, and he needs to make his segments short and sweet, but give him something almost every week, where.
But do you put him in the ring at all? Like, he can go, even though like his gimmick isn't uber like wrestler savvy. Like Dominic Danhausen can wrestle.
I saw that.
Are they going to give Danhausen? I saw him wrestle as
Danhausen. I saw him wrestle as Danhausen against Orange Cassidy, and it looked like shit. Both of them look like shit.
Really?
But yeah. But the footage you sent me, I was like, damn, he can go. And I'd watched a couple other things because I was interested too. But he can go. And
yeah, like Dominic Danhausen can wrestle, but can Danhausen wrestle? You know what I mean?
Well, I think he holds back because Danhausen's always got to be like that,
Yeah.
So if he's going to be the Danhausen character, I wouldn't for now. Maybe he's got to find a way to bring that out in Danhausen.
Right.
But why he's dressed the way he is, and I wouldn't put him in unless they were going to just make him take a bump from like Wardlow, have Wardlow just fucking kill him and get him over as a face. Just have the fucking crowd, or like maybe not Wardlow, but maybe Hobbs or Team Taz beat the fuck out of him. Just fucking
Preston Vance turns on the Dark Order and
that's
the shit out of Danhausen.
That's the only way I would put him in right now, unless they're gonna later down the line. But I don't know. I mean, it's AEW. They put Orange Cassidy in, and I've never Orange Cassidy is definitely entertaining, but I've never seen. It's getting old to me real quick, and I'm wondering how much longer he can keep steam.
Yeah, Yeah.
And this might just be me and my own personal dislike for him. And I wouldn't even say it's a dislike, but like, I mean, I feel like he's losing steam with the crowd too.
MJF, I mean, not MJF, I'm sorry, but Orange Cassidy.
Yeah. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I don't know if he's quite losing steam, but I don't think it has quite the same, like, it used to be a 10 pop and now it's a 8.5 or a 9 pop, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It definitely has lost a little bit.
I really like his theme music, man.
Yeah, right.
And I really like Ruby Soho's theme music. I'll tell you, but the wild thing in Box, I can't take that shit serious, man. It just
No,
it
I don't
makes
like
me
it
think
either.
of it really makes me think of that Major League.
Major
You
League.
know?
It's yeah, whatever Charlie Sheen's character's name is, I can't think of his
Yeah,
character's name, but that's what I hear every single time.
every time, and it's like not even like the good version of it. I don't think, you know.
Right, right.
So, but yeah, getting the Pixies for Orange Cassidy was cool, but I don't know how much longer he can keep that up and stay relevant with that character. You know, um,
Yeah,
he might have to learn how to go a bit harder too. You know, and I really don't.
right.
I don't like Danhausen with him, and I think it's just because it's kind of obvious. You know.
Yeah, and they put him with a group, and Danhausen is still recovering from his broken leg, so he can't wrestle right now.
Uh,
He only recently had surgery like 2 months ago, and he's still recovering from his broken leg. So he's still another month or two out from, I think, being able to go.
uh,
But I think the opportunity was there, so they signed him and got him on TV, and it's like, okay, how can we have him in a non-contact role? And it's like, let's have him hiding under the fucking crowd. Be like, you feel comfortable enough getting to your feet? It's like, okay, you feel comfortable doing that? Okay, then that's what we're gonna do for you for a couple weeks until you finish healing.
yeah. The the YouTube with him and fucking that one I
Archer,
posted. Oh my god, that was fucking hilarious. Especially the ending, how it ended. That's like
lay off my peanut butter title or whatever.
that's the kind of how they need to fucking. That's the kind of shit they need to incorporate him into on live stuff. You know, it's just stupid shit like that. I feel like
Right.
you know maybe interviewing people. You know, like he does on his
Oh
YouTube show.
yeah, like he did on the YouTube thing is very entertaining. Even when he goes around with the vlog and he was on his scooter and he was messing around with Cardona and Brian Myers and those guys and
Yeah,
taking pictures with John Cena at that convention. And I don't know if you saw that one, but
I didn't see
messing
that.
messing around with CM, like his John Cena interaction. They didn't have any interaction; it was just a photo. But even his interaction with CM Punk and stuff on his stuff has been great too. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want him to
No,
get
CM
mixed in
Punk
with
like
those
actually
guys.
put the face paint on and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's been great. And then of course the Gun Club. Oh my
Yeah,
God,
the
he's
ass boys.
well,
Yeah,
he's made them fucking more relevant than they've been
yeah.
since they've been on there. Personally, I think that whole thing has made them
Got
and when that started, he wasn't even signed to the goddamn thing. We all thought he was, but he wasn't officially signed to AEW. And I think
yeah.
he made that team way more
I,
relevant.
I
No,
yeah,
that's
and I think his interaction kind of forced Tony to sign it, being
um
like, okay, I got to get this guy signed.
And you know that guy, he's such an indie guy. He's probably happy with just a shitty fucking contract, I bet.
Oh yeah,
He's young, he's just having fun, loving doing it. So
yeah,
he's like he don't care about money. Probably not like as much as like, not a whole lot. I'm sure he just wants enough to live off of and be able to travel and bounce around, not lose his ass.
right. Yeah,
And
him and his wife got a picture with Melissa Joan Hart yesterday at
oh,
Dynamite.
oh yeah, and then they were like saying that she was gonna the Young Bucks were trying to like use her to reverse the
Yeah,
Danhausen
the curse.
spell.
Yeah. use Sabrina the Teenage Witch to reverse it.
Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, but I love Danhausen, man. I'm interested to see what they do with him. I hope he doesn't just end up becoming a stale thing, kind of like
Yeah,
like Marco Stunt. That's what like
yeah, right.
Cornette was like. Cornette was like, I like this guy. I fucking like this guy. But now they're gonna replace fucking Marco Stunt with this guy. I was so happy they got rid of Marco Stunt, and now they're just gonna replace him with this guy.
Yeah, they got to figure out how to just not let it become stale. That's what they need to do. Like keep it fresh, keep it entertaining. Take him off TV every now and again.
Yeah.
damn dogs barking at a squirrel.
Oh, it's all good, man. They definitely need to have him pop up just randomly and do random shit, you know.
Like kind of Hornswoggle esque.
Kind of, but way funnier because he's Danhausen.
Right.
That kid's got something with that character, man. Like the first time I saw him, I was like, I got stuck in a rabbit hole. I was like, what the fuck is this guy? You know, it's so funny. But yeah. Well, shit, man. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we the first episode?
Oh yeah. Last thing I saw before we went live, I didn't get a chance to check Twitter to see what has been announced, but the what the fuck is it called? The something your own narrative, whatever EC3's thing is.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
They apparently have some shows coming up and struck a TV deal that they were going to announce. I don't know if it got announced while you and I were chit chatting or if it's in the near future, but very curious what because all these choose your narrative or whatever it's CYN. I can't think what the C is. Control your narrative. But they were basically saying like involved. Yeah. So but they were saying that there's a select like 15 different guys that are part of this little control your narrative group. Like Moose is one of them. Matt Seidel is one of them. Buddy Murphy is one of them. Braun's one of them. And then a handful of other indie guys are part of this control your narrative group. And they're going to have something going on. And I don't know what the hell it is. And
aren't the rules to that supposed to be different? Is that the organization I was hearing about where the rules?
No, that's Terminus. That's the one that Jonathan Gresham is starting up and based out of Atlanta. That's going to be basically all pure rules, like the ROH pure rules.
Okay, yeah, that's
the rope big.
So this is just going to be another organization, right?
I don't know. I got to see what EC3 and Adam Shearer, whatever the hell Braun Strowman's real name is. See what they're putting out on social media.
Well, if Braun's committing to other things, that makes me a little unhopeful about Bray returning anytime soon.
Right.
Because I would love to see the Wyatt family get back together and add Bo Dallas someplace.
Yeah, add Bo, to take a Harper spot, Brody spot, unfortunately.
Yeah. And Bo, dude, that's one thing. That's just one of the million things WWE shit the bed on. Why did they not put Bo and Bray together?
I know, right? And
in some way, a feud.
And Bo was such a good talker too. Like even though his character was goofy, he was such a great talker. And it's like, why didn't you use him, Vince?
They could have used him in a million things. They could have made him a character on the Firefly Funhouse. They could have done so much shit with Bo.
Right.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do, man.
Right.
And they said they got TV deals too, so
so should be interesting.
With wrestling on the rise and with TV there's a lot more TV channels than there used to be.
Right.
So
and all the streaming services, like the Fight Network and stuff. Like, there's all this stuff's out there to get your product out there.
Yeah, there's going to be more coming out, I think. It's a good time to be a wrestling fan. I'm glad now that the crowds are opening up. And AEW is doing it way better than they were when they first started. The one thing I miss, man, and I won't keep you too much longer, but the one thing I miss so much about old school wrestling is the element of surprise, though. It's like
the internet screwed us over there.
Everybody fucking knew that CM Punk was coming. Everybody fucking knew that Daniel Bryan was coming. And I think, unfortunately, Tony gets that, I think he should, and I think that instead of trying to avoid it, he's just embracing it because he just knows that's what happens now. So instead of being like, maybe CM Punk will show up tonight, he's like, oh no, CM Punk's here. Like, turn your fucking TVs on,
Right.
I think he should maybe step it back a bit, but I kind of get where he's coming from. Maybe it's the best thing, but goddamn, I miss being surprised, man.
The internet, just like social media is fucked us.
Yep, it's ruined everything. Fuck, I can hardly even not watch Dynamite before I get a chance to watch Dynamite.
Right.
Like I get off. By the time I get off work, I see everything good that happened.
Right. I was gonna say that's why we switched over to the East Coast feed because God forbid if we watched the West Coast feed, we couldn't get on Twitter for 3 hours because we'd see everything.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how I got to avoid Facebook and avoid everything, or else I see it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one thing I'd like to see. I think Tony. I hope if him and Bray do start working together, they need to like figure out who's talking, and keep their
Hmm.
circle. If they kept their circles a little tighter, they
Yeah.
probably. But they got Dave Meltzer backstage at every goddamn show, sucking
Is he?
Tony Khan's dick. Oh yeah, he's there like all the time, dude, and he's like a mark for them. He's sucking the Bucks' dick too.
No, I knew that. I just didn't realize he was at all these shows.
He's at most of them, I think, or he's at a lot of them. I'm
Uh huh.
sure. He's like a bro now, and
Right.
kind of fucking ruins it because everybody knows he's got a fucking big mouth. And now on top of that, he used to be unbiased, and now he's totally biased, which sucks.
Right.
Because he doesn't ever say anything bad about AEW. It's fucking
Right.
bullshit. Like, and if
Yeah.
anybody
There's.
says anything bad about the Young Bucks, oh fuck. Anybody relevant? Oh, there comes Meltzer playing Captain Savo.
Yeah.
It's like shut the fuck up, Meltzer. I was never a huge Meltzer fan, anyways. I think his opinions are stupid a lot of the time, and I think he's kind of fucking smug. But yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. There's a million of them like him out there.
Right.
Well, shit, man. I think this is a good spot to wrap up.
Yeah.
This was fun, man. We'll hit it up. I mean, I know
The rebirth.
yeah, and we won't do it as much as we did. I do kind of want to get like a structure going.
Yeah. Yeah.
To where we can figure out a good time for both of us every couple
Right.
weeks.
Right.
Maybe we try it.
Touch on the wrestling world. Yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah, maybe we try it for like every 2 weeks and then see how that goes. If we can find enough relevant shit to talk about, or, and if we can't, then maybe we just take it to a month. We do a monthly show.
I think every 2 weeks we can get enough content in there. I think we would have no problem bullshitting for
Yeah, even if
90
we
minutes,
only do
2
like an
hours.
hour show, we
Yeah.
probably get enough content to talk and bullshit. Especially it's Mania season and then AEW's pay per views coming out soon. So like there's a lot to talk about. And then Ring of Honor's coming back. There's still a million independent wrestlers out there. I'm sure there's gonna be shit popping up. One thing we didn't talk about at all is Impact, and I've been kind of impressed with Impact, like in their little Ring of Honor crew they've got going on there.
Right.
So.
And then the Bullet Club boys are there right now. So it's Hikuleo, the Gorillas of Destiny, and Jay White. They're all there.
They're in Impact.
I think, currently they're
Oh
wrestling
shit!
wrestling there
I
currently.
need to watch it because I was
so-
stoked to see Jay White. We didn't talk about Jay White either, man.
Yeah, no, we didn't talk about that. But he wrestles Beretta. No, yeah, Beretta on Friday.
Cool, man.
But
So-
yeah, I was gonna say the Gorillas of Destiny and Jay White, they wrestled tonight against Violent by Design, which is Eric Young's group. So yeah, they were on TV. I know they were there for a weekend or so. So I think they got about four or so shows under their belt for Impact. That is.
Right on. Yeah, because I know Vincent's been there, and then there's been a
Mhm.
few people there. So, well, good, man. Well, shit. That concludes the show.
Yeah, we gotta have a ba-ba-da-ba-ba theme song.
Well, no, hey, I actually meant to say we are getting a theme song.
Oh, did you?
My buddy Sweet G.A. Brown used to be a wrestler, and he like is pretty good at writing like little jingles and shit, and he's got like a
Okay.
recording studio, so he's gonna write us one. He like used to play with Anti-Scene and shit too sometimes, so like it's like mixing Anti-Scene shit, but yeah, we're gonna have a little Matt Marks theme song too now, so it might even be on this show because he's supposed to send it today, but he didn't. So maybe by the time I get it up, I think I'm gonna put him up on Sundays
There you go. Okay.
because I got
Very
double
cool.
talking other stuff. So yeah, yep. All
Very
right, buddy.
cool.
I'll see you later.
All righty. Have a good one.
Bye.
All right.